It's a lovely evening. Nothing really much going on. Nice little bit. Huh? Sonic Boom. I said that I would never touch this game on this channel. I told people if they wanted it, they'd have to review it themselves. And then I set up that Amazon wishlist. I have created my own torture device. I did this to myself. Oh god, why? Ugh. Released in 2014, exclusively on Wii U, Sonic Boom is the most recent attempt at reinvigorating the Sonic franchise with a different take on the Sonic 3D formula. Developed by Big Red Button, a studio comprised of former Naughty Dog staff, primarily those who worked on the Crash Bandicoot franchise, the game had a promising start, because that's a hell of a resume. And you would think with this, their first big project, funded by Sega and trusted with their mascot, thrust into the world, that Big Red Button would go all out and prove they are a new force to be reckoned with, giving us a great game to put their names on the map. Well, they didn't, clearly, because over this last year, this game has become the new Sonic 06. Yeah, remember that video I did a couple months ago? Do you remember how bad that game was? This hot mess takes it to a whole new level. Okay, let's just do this damn deed. So immediately we're greeted with Sonic and his cohorts chasing Robotnik. Oh, sorry. Eggman. Dr. Eggman. Because he's shaped like an egg, apparently. Through a level that looks like an overgrown green hill zone. And within 15 seconds, the new personalities of all the characters shines through, and immediately it will irritate you. This will not let up during the game at all. At every obstacle, every puzzle, every character has a pool of one-liners that they will go through. And repeat. Endlessly. And it will get on your nerves. Endlessly. The next thing you notice is that the cutscenes look like shit. Compressed to all hell, grainy, and generally unappealing to look at. I'm a little weirded out by this one, given that the Wii U format disc can store up to 25GB, the same as a single layer Blu-ray. This unnecessarily ruins any immersion from the story, making it painfully obvious that you're watching a cutscene and not playing the meat and potatoes at hand. And in its defense, the story, while stock, really isn't actually that bad. Sonic & Co., on the run from Eggman, accidentally unleashed Lyric, an ancient serpent who wants to replace all organic life on Earth with machines. I've heard him play through far worse storylines, even though this one is somewhat basic. It gets from point A to point B. Not that you'd want to play this story though, because when you do actually play it, you're hit with a ton of performance issues. I would go into the bugs and how the combat is utterly mundane with enemies barely seeming challenging, but this is all overshadowed by the frame rate issues. The game supposedly runs at 30 frames per second. In reality, most times it'll drop around 15, and in speed sections, supposed to be the main shot of a Sonic game, it'll drop to single digits, and occasionally freezing for a second before the action continues. It's appalling. It's disgusting, and I can't work out how the hell this hot mess got past the testers. On multiple occasions I had to restart the game because the next objective simply did not load, and then that is when the worst of it happened. I only got halfway through the game from what I'm about to tell you. It's too easy of a game to stop playing. The enemies cost you rings each time they hit you. You pick up so many it becomes irrelevant. The absolute worst and buggiest thing I encountered is how it ended my playthrough. So after the halfway point of the plot, after obtaining 4 of the crystals required to continue the plot and lock Lyric back away, the game is supposed to launch a cutscene, advancing you to the 5th area to get the 5th crystal. This didn't happen for me. The game did its autosave, and then it dumped me back into the overworld. The game glitched itself so hard that it didn't launch this cutscene, it glitched so horribly that it then autosaved, and it put me in a point where that cutscene would never load, rendering my save file pointless, rendering my progress idiotic, leaving me stuck in that overworld for all of eternity with nothing to do. The game rage quit itself. My save file is in a constant state of limbo where I can never access it or continue. I can run around the free roam, but not continue playing anything. This is a first. So I'm left with two options. Either you call it quits, or you go through all of that over again in hopes that the game will not glitch a second time and I can actually finish it. So I dropped it. I'm done. Not because I wanted to be fair with you. I actually just wanted to finish this one. I really did. But given that this is supposed to be the most recently patched version of this game, and it literally forced me out, I'm done. What the hell happened here? Why is this awful? I'll be honest, it barely feels like a Sonic game. I've not heard or read anything to back this up, but I wouldn't be surprised this game was originally something different and then had a facelift at the last second to add Sonic characters. And it hurts too, because honestly, here and there's a couple of good ideas. I actually kind of like the laser lasso. It's definitely executed poorly, but the core idea is quite good. And the lyric character could have been explored so much better. But everything else, and I mean literally everything else, just takes a baseball bat to a windscreen and shatters it like a pissed off country singer. And before someone says, well, it's a kid's game, remember that, kids know dick. And this is a big old bag of dick.
So we're now in Delaware. Across there, it's Pennsylvania. In there, on the drive here, we drove through Satanville, considered to be one of the most haunted places in the United States. You're look up, is it Calder's Road, I believe?
Cassart.
Thank you, can't remember when. Cassart Road. You can see some of the footage.
Quick editor's footnote as well, this place really is as weird as they say it is. It's not just the trees growing bizarrely, that can be explained by being weighed down or being cut away. When you go around the area, it's very obvious that you're being watched and followed. We saw in our little trip through the area, guides in ghillie suits watching us as we drove through, and also noticed people with large cameras with lenses inside the main mansion complex in this area. Something weird's going on here, but that's another channel's topic.
Yeah, and you see some of the bizarre stuff we saw. This is a hole in the ground. This is where bad games go to die. Any further fucking questions? Before anyone says this is an original idea and that Peanut Butter Gamer did it with My Sims, fuck you. He didn't get a fucking Satanville. He did it in a fucking bunch of trees next to a school. Motherfucker. You! Drive me home. My shovel.